certain things related to gaming were just better back in the day. Okay, Mark's here. It's incredibly hot here. I'm blowing that fan over there and chilling out with the PC and some how do you say that? Oh, perhaps I should do it the other way around. Let me see. Like so. That works better. Yeah. Cheers. Just saw a video Lawnboyspost1975 did, and in it he said something like there are a lot of things back in the day surrounding gaming, and that was just plain better back then than it was than it is right now. And he mentioned magazines being better, adverts being better, and I tend to agree actually, but I'm not sure if it's the adverts themselves or just our perspective on it that has changed. Of course, the whole advertising business has evolved. I mean, between the ads and the ad campaigns in the 80s and now, there's almost 30 years of difference, and perhaps they're more refined, or the advertising agencies know what works and doesn't work, and so it doesn't necessarily make for good advertisements, but perhaps only advertisements that work, and good advertisements, they're not funny, perhaps, you know, I'm not sure. Anyways, the mags, I totally agree with the mags, but perhaps it has something to do with the fact that I'm not of the main demography of those magazines. I believe, you know, magazines focusing on the PlayStation 3 and the Wii and the Xbox 360, I think they do cater for a younger audience, you know, like the teens and the tweens, and not so much the 30 plus range, and even 40 plus range of gamers. So yeah, I think to a large extent it also has to do with the fact that these magazines just does, you know, it's not entirely, you're not part of that subculture. Perhaps you're a gamer, but not necessarily fit within the culture of, let's say, teens or 25-year-olds, 20-year-olds. It could be that, or it could be the fact that indeed the game magazines themselves were in some sort of infancy, and they were more personal in a lot of ways, I guess. To me, still, a game review doesn't say a single thing if it's done by a person who I don't know, or whose opinions I don't know, or whose taste I don't know. So that you know, I mean, and that's where YouTube comes in. I mean, I know a lot of people on YouTube, and I know that if they like a game, I actually may have liking the same game because they like it, and you know, the brainwaves are going in similar fashions. but go to any game site or open up any game magazine, and the writers more or less are people that nobody knows, or I don't know, the personality of the writers isn't brought into it, and it's more generic reviews, and that doesn't fly with me. You know, I'm a person that wants to know the reviewers. I want to know their personality, and if I don't know their personality, it's just crap. Let me see if I can get some examples of game magazines that I do like these days. For example, is Edge. And why do I like Edge? Basically because of the great design and the great stories, and because I do know some of the freelance writers, and their opinions do count. But I mean, it's true that more or less the articles on specific games, they are some of the articles are just, you know, it's not really very clear who writes it, just some initials, or you know, and but yeah, the design and you know, the taste of the magazine. I mean, that's true. The taste of the magazine is important. If you know what the magazine is about and you really get into the magazine, perhaps the personalities of the reviewers doesn't necessarily have to be a big thing. But yeah, this is on the Edge, I guess. Literally, I guess other games focusing on the PlayStation and the Wii, you know, might be similar. I would love to hear from much younger gamers what they think of these old magazines, or not this is not an old magazine, but what they think of magazines like this, or you know, Crash, or Zap 64. Yeah, and I mean, this Retro Gamer, this is also a magazine that really is very popular with me, but basically, I guess because it's like Crash and it's like Zap, the personalities of the reviewers is very important, and you know their tastes and you know their opinions. But there's freelance writers, I guess, and yeah. Oh, and great initiatives, new initiatives. And that's the Nesbit, Lorfarius. I know the editor, and because I know the editor, going through this magazine for me makes it a lot nicer, and I hope more stuff comes out. I really like this new retro magazine. So a magazine that is less. I mean, I read this every once in a while, Games TM, basically because, and yeah, this is from IP and this is from IP, and I believe Edge is from a different Future Media, I believe. But this, I pick this up every once in a while, because I just want to keep up with the multi-platform gaming thing. For me, this is the new computer and video games without the personality. This, to me, doesn't have much personality, but perhaps I'm just being too harsh on it. But there's reviews on it in this, and for the life of me, I don't know who is writing this. There's no initials. It's just a generic article, and it's more about the facts that are, you know, put out there, and not necessarily what they think of it. But getting to know new information about games is cool, but the reviews are not important in these. I tend to turn to YouTube for that, but yeah, there's not much personality of writers in here. I mean, in this, the personality of the writers does count. And in this magazine, neither, but there is more personality in here than the Games TM magazine. So I guess what it boils down to is probably that there was more diversity and there was more personality in the media surrounding games, and it's more or less generic when you think of current media. So I tend to agree with Lawnboyspost1975, and it's like 30 degrees Fahrenheit, and outside it's even hotter. Yeah, I don't dare turn on any of the consoles. I know my PCs, they run pretty cool, so I'm just zoning out, doing some Minecraft, and or use one of the solid state consoles. You know, I can turn on my Mega Drive, my NES, or my Nintendo 64, my SNES, or my Commodore 64 without any problems of them overheating. But the 360 or the PlayStation 3, in this heat, no, I don't think it's a good idea. Well, just, you know, another waffle of me going on about something. It's a video response of sorts. Anyways, Mark signing off, and I'll be back with another video soon.